It's crazy that we started with this sound, and in like 3 minutes we turned it into this. What's up everyone, this is Ed Talenti. Today I want to show you 2 really fun ways to create just some massive 808s from scratch using nothing but free stock plugins. Let's do it. Alright, the first method I want to show you is using granular synthesis, aka looping a tiny little piece of audio just over and over and making a sound. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick an audio file. It can be anything. I'm going to go into my sample pack trilogy and I'm going to pick a sound from there just because, you know, just promoting my sample pack, but you can literally use anything you want. Let's get something as far away from an 808 as possible. Like you can use anything. Sure. Let's go with this one. So I'm gonna drag it into Simpler, and right now I'm working in Ableton, but you can do this on any DAW, just any sampler works, they all work the same. I'm gonna turn on loop, and then I'm gonna select a tiny little piece of audio. I'm gonna zoom way in and just select a tiny little piece. Play it a couple octaves down. Poof, there it is. First try, that took like 30 seconds. Next thing we're gonna wanna do is click Controls and start shaping the sound. So I'm gonna keep my attack all the way, but I'm gonna bring the sustain down a little bit, and also the release, I'm gonna drag it way back. So what this is doing is basically emulating the sound of a drum, which when you hit it, it's got that punch at the beginning, and then it vibrates, and as it slows down, the sustain goes down, and it gets a little bit quieter until it dies out. We can also go into pitch and kind of make it do the same exact thing, so that the pitch starts a little bit higher, and then it goes down a little bit. Cool, that's pretty good, I like that. Now that we have a pretty good starting point, let's add effects and kind of make it like really... First things first, I'm gonna make it mono. Then we need to start raising the volume, so I'm gonna apply some compression. I'm gonna put the ratio at, let's say 4, drag this down a bunch. Turn up the attack a little bit. Woof! Okay, that's getting pretty good. Now I'm gonna add an EQ. I'm gonna get rid of the higher frequencies, which I don't really need. Then I'm gonna cut the super low end, like below 20 Hz, because we don't really need that either. And then we can try to boost the bass a little bit. Let's just find a cool spot where it sounds really good. Woof, yeah, that's it. Dude, that's getting good. I wanna add a little bit of saturation. What any kind of saturation or distortion does is basically just add mid to high frequencies to the sound. So we need that in order to hear the 808 on smaller speakers. For example, if we were making a beat that was gonna be played in like a huge arena with gigantic speakers, we wouldn't really need too much saturation because you're gonna feel that bass no matter what. But for the stuff that I tend to do, which is usually on the web or like Spotify, or people listen to it on their phone or the little headphones, you want to have a little more of the higher mid frequencies so that they can hear it loud, and the 808 just sounds huge even on just like a phone. Right there is pretty good. I don't want to go too crazy with it, I just want to add a little bit. All that's left to do is get a tuner to make sure that C is actually C. Right now it's an A, so I'm going to bring it up. And that's perfect. It's crazy that we started with this sound, and in like 3 minutes we turned it into this. So I have another really cool method that I use to make 808s that I'm going to show you in a second, but first I wanted to give you a little bit of context. So 808s have been the go-to bass sound for the last decade or so, pretty much across every single genre of music. Of course you have trap and hip-hop, but also pop, country sometimes, and even like metal with bands like Polyphia. So right now 808 equals bass, but really the term 808 comes from a 1980 drum machine by Roland called the
TR-808, a revolutionary computer-controlled rhythm machine.
This drum machine was actually a commercial failure when it came out. It only sold a few thousand copies, and people saw it more like a toy than like a musical instrument. The TR-808 had 16 sounds: snare, clap, close hi-hat, open hi-hat, cymbal, cowbell, maracas, a rim shot, clavis, high tom, mid tom, low tom, high conga, mid conga, low conga, and kick drum. This kick drum is the sound that changed everything. It's a really good kick drum by itself, but if you turn up the decay and the volume, boom, bass. Still though, it sounds nothing like the that we're used to hearing today. How did they make this kick/bass sound and all the other ones that came after? A sine wave, which is method number 2, which I'm about to explain to you. Alright, history lesson is over. Let me show you how to do this. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to download the 808 we just made a second ago, the one we're about to do and like 8 more, I'm gonna put them up on my Patreon. It's only like $3 a month. It helps me keep the lights on and you guys get a bunch of stuff every single week. Alright, method number 2. The first thing we need to do is generate a sine wave. If you're in Ableton, you can use Operator. If you're in FL Studio, you can use Harmor, or I think it's called Oscillator 3X or something like that. Or you can just get Serum or Vital, which is basically free Serum, and that's all you need. So I'm gonna go right here in my waveforms and I'm gonna pick Sine. You can also experiment like with saws or like even like the Sine, like 8 bits and 4 bits. Try stuff out, but the Sine one is the most basic one, so we're gonna go with that. Alright, so the first thing we want to do, just like earlier, we want to shape our sound. So I'm going to bring down the sustain, shorten the release, keep the attack like all the way up. Then we're going to turn on the pitch envelope so it can do the little glide down. That's a bit much. Cool, I like that. Next thing I want to do is distort it a little bit. Let's get some EQ going. I'm gonna get rid of the super bass. I'm basically doing the same process as earlier, just a little bit different. But this is a really cool way to kind of get that classic 808 sound. And then you can make it modern with like distortion and stuff. All right, I'm gonna add a soft clip. Alright, it's a pretty good 808, I'm happy with that. I want to show you something real quick. So far we used nothing but free plugins, but I often use this one called Trash 2 by Isotope. This is not sponsored by them or anything like that. This is just a plugin that I use a lot on my 808s, and I just wanted to share it with you even though it's not free. This is basically just a distortion plugin, but it has a bunch of really cool presets with just unique sound. For example, let's go into aggressive, just try one out. Woo! Dude. Dude, this is crazy. What am I making right now? I'm gonna get rid of some of these bass notes because it's just too much. Okay, I don't know what this is. I just slapped halftime on the master. I don't even know what I'm doing. I got sidetracked. Go make some 808s and have fun. Peace. Wait, before you leave, so I really wanted this video to last 8 minutes and 8 seconds, 808, see what I did there? So I'm literally just gonna keep talking until I get cut off at some point when I reach the time. How are you guys doing? How's everything good in your life? Are you doing okay? Let me know what's going on in your life. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this might be a good time to do it just while we're waiting to just finish this video. I'm gonna drink a sip with this. I recently started drinking these sodas, they're really good. I like these a lot. Shout out Cass's Soda. Super good. All right, that should be enough time.